Why does tacit consent create legal obligations? Imagine living in a neighborhood where everyone follows the same rules. You benefit from the safety, roads, and services, but you never signed a paper agreeing to those rules. How is that possible? Well, this is where the idea of tacit consent comes into play. It might sound simple, but it has big implications for how we understand laws and responsibilities in society. When you stay in a society and enjoy its benefits, it's like you're silently saying yes to its rules. You might not have signed a contract, but your continued presence and use of public services imply agreement. This is what we call tacit consent. It's an unspoken agreement that says, I accept the rules because I benefit from them. This idea is rooted in the social contract theory, which suggests that society's legitimacy depends on the consent of its members. Think about it this way. If you live in a city and drive on its roads, you are using the legal system that keeps traffic organized and safe. By doing so, you're accepting the city's authority to enforce traffic laws. You might not have signed a document, but your actions show you agree to follow those laws. This is the core of tacit consent creating legal obligations. Philosophers like John Locke explained this clearly. He argued that by living on land governed by a state, you're benefiting from its protection and order. Because of this, you're morally and legally obliged to follow its laws. For example, if you inherit property in a country, you're implicitly agreeing to its jurisdiction because you choose to keep and use that property there. This idea helps governments function smoothly. It means that not everyone needs to sign a formal contract to be bound by laws. Instead, the fact that people stay and use the society's benefits is enough to establish their obligation to obey. It's a practical way to keep order in large communities where getting explicit consent from every individual is impossible. However, this raises questions too. What if someone is forced to stay in a society or cannot leave? Do they still have to accept the rules? These are ethical debates that challenge the limits of tacit consent. Still, the concept remains important because it links the benefits we receive with the duties we owe to society. In essence, tacit consent creates legal obligations because it acts as an unspoken agreement that binds individuals to the rules of a society they benefit from. It connects moral responsibility with political authority, showing that enjoying the advantages of a community also means accepting its duties. This idea helps explain how laws and social order are maintained without everyone having to sign a formal contract.